Scene of the Crime is so good, I kind of accidentally watched it twice, back to back, and I don't think I've ever done that with a film ever. The reason that happened is because I got to the end of it and I hadn't scheduled my next film, a film that I'd put on immediately after. So I just thought, let's play it again while I'm finishing doing what I'm doing. And I watched the beginning again and I watched the end again, and it was just as fabulous the second time round. This was released in 1962. It's directed by Tom Donovan and is written by Sidney Carroll and Brian Clemens, with a cast including Betty White, Harry Towns, Patricia Collinge, Lester Rawlins, Edgar, Peggy, Conklin, Anne Francine, Doris Rich, and Parker McCormick. And when I read the description for this, I wanted to watch it for Betty White, and I read the description and thought, that sounds fantastic. It's about a character who returns to a boarding house 20 years after there was a murder. He was convicted of the murder, sentenced to 20 years in prison. Obviously, he's now been released, and he has returned to the scene of the crime. And I had so many questions. I had that knowledge going into it, and I wanted to know, did he do it? Because he was convicted of murder, but it doesn't mean he did it. If he did do it, why has he returned? And I really desperately needed to know the answers to those questions. And is it to get revenge? Is it to unveil the truth? I won't say, of course, but it was perfect. So perfectly executed. And it gets to the point pretty much immediately. The pacing is absolutely fantastic. It's not a tremendously long film. I can't remember how long it is, but it's not tremendously long, but the pacing is very, very well handled. We meet the characters immediately, we get to know the dynamics between the characters, and then of course this individual arrives, and immediately I was concerned. His character is presented in a way that's very mysterious, very unpredictable, and honestly somebody I'd not want to meet in person. He just seemed really shifty and questionable, and I wasn't really sure how I wanted to feel about this character or what I wanted the outcome to be, whether I wanted him back for revenge or to kill somebody else, or if I wanted him to be innocent. I didn't really know what I wanted from this character, but what was delivered was fantastic. This is a character called Keller, and we meet the women who are at the boarding house. And they're all very well written. The performances are brilliant. Keller definitely was a very unsettling and very fascinating individual, which is something that I thought was very, very well done. The house itself is a really great location. I love the set design. It's very atmospheric. We have some really great music. The pacing of the narrative is fabulous. And the rate at which we receive information is really effective. I had my suspicions as the story began to develop. I started to piece together a few things, but ultimately what we were told I didn't fully work out. So I don't think it gives away too much too soon. And as I said, I loved every second of it. The technical aspects are brilliant. The characters are great. Visually, it's satisfying. It's very atmospheric. And I've now seen it, well, I guess 1.5 times. As I said, I watched the beginning again, and then I watched the end before I put on another film. And I loved it the second time as much as I did the first. Scene of the Crime is a really brilliant film, and needless to say, I'm very, very, very happy to recommend it.